Chapter 35 A Strange Fulfillment. A passageway to the Pacific had been Hendrik Hudson's dream away back in 1609 when he sighted the island of Manna-Hatin, just as it had inspired Columbus with daring over 100 years earlier. Both men had failed, yet the dreams of courageous men never seemed to die. In 1876, the ambition of Hendrik Hudson was strangely fulfilled. De Hellegat had brought commerce to the island at the mouth of the Hudson River, and it had taken deep root. Born in commerce, the city of New York thought in terms of commerce and grew through commerce. Just as Hudson had been carried across the sea by his adventurous energy, the city that sprang from his voyage inherited the power to think in vast terms, to override all cost and difficulty in carrying out its ambitious plans. Before 1850, it had conquered the ocean for its commerce. In the 60s, it had turned inland in its search for markets. And now, in 1876, its railroad magnates achieved their great ambition by sending a through train from New York to San Francisco in 83 hours and 43 minutes. Thus the passage from sea to sea was at last accomplished. The way to the Orient, of which Hudson had dreamed, was found by men who came after him and dwelt and dreamed on the island of his discovery. The goal was the same. The route was different. This was a great year for all Americans because it marked the 100th anniversary of American independence. No longer was the United States to be reckoned as a new nation. Its government already was older than that of the Republic of France, the Empire of Germany, or the Kingdom of Italy. Yet its chief city was still young in comparison with the great cities of Europe, which it was rapidly outgrowing. New York was an astounding, youthful giant, but with all its optimism, it had not begun to realize the grandeur of its destiny. In those days, most of its business section was still at the 4-story level, because elevators were few and unsatisfactory, and people would not climb too many flights of stairs. There were no telephones. In fact, it was not until August 5th, 1877, that the New York Sun published exultantly, as a bit of up-to-the-minute news, that there were 5 working telephones in the city. Prospective customers were soon to be encouraged with the offer of a month's free trial. Edison had not yet produced his electric lamp, and the term gaslight still sounded very modern. In many hotels were to be found cards warning the guests not to blow out the gas. However, obstacles to progress were disappearing right and left. On September 24th, 1876, General Nelson's little daughter had pressed a button, and mines that took 10 years in the laying blew up a deadly reef in Hellgate Channel. One by one, the channel's teeth were extracted in this fashion, until in 1885, the last 9 acres of jagged rock crumbled to harmless bits. 10 years later, the Harlem Ship Canal was completed, and with the planning of new piers, bridges, and terminals, and the opening of American transatlantic steamship lines, New York was well on its way toward the modern idea of a Port Authority district. Litigation about the surface car lines had been another obstacle to progress, and with its settlement, trolley cars were presently rattling up Amsterdam Avenue or crossing the Brooklyn Bridge. Many living New Yorkers will remember that at the time this seemed an extraordinary achievement, a marvel of speedy and convenient transportation.